Good morning. This is Cynthia from Including You Journals. I hope you're having a great day today. I'm videotaping in the morning and it's still a little dark today. And I have put a little doily here to help disguise or help keep this the reflection from being so bright here. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm having a great day today. I just want to show you a quick little idea that will get your juices hopefully flowing for the day. I have used, reused a red envelope, Christmas envelope. That's all I've taken, just this size. Something that I had left over. I have some thin ones. I could have used that as well. I don't think the size matters, but I just wanted to let you know here, this is what I have begun with. And I simply used this back little flat portion here. I did not trim it in any way. I simply glued all of this over here, and then I have just used paper, some tissue paper, and a little other paper that I had on hand to make some background here on this. I don't know if this is a cabinet card, but it's very much like a cabinet card. I purchased it at the antique mall, and it is just called a Traveler Series from Montgomery Ward and Company out of Chicago, and it's a picture of or two scenes out of Mexico City, and of course it's very more vintage. It's faded quite a bit. I wanted to tie in this Travelers series, or this cabinet card, if that's what I think it is, if that's correct. So I glued a little bit of a red flower that I fussy cut onto this page, trying to maintain as much of the picture as possible, but also wanting to tie this in. Instead of what I usually do is I usually put paper, I will butt a piece of paper all the way up here to this side and usually create a little divot to put a card or something in. Today I chose not to do that. I just left this completely opened, and I have used a little background paper, a white flower I've glued down, and then this little vocabulary type card, excuse me, and a little ticket. I've made a little tuck there, and so that you can see what I'm thinking about. This card now, even a large card, that one's too large. I tried this out earlier. I just picked up the wrong card to put in there. Let's see if I can grab one quickly. You just put now a card of any kind or tag will go right in there easily, and I can retrieve it easily. And that's why I left this so large. If you don't like that, go ahead and cover that up and put your little divot. You can still slide things in and out. So what I thought that I could do with you then, or for the rest of the way, is simply cover the rest of this little fold. That would be great in a journal with something. Let's try some papers. I think I used this little piece of teal. It's green and ties in with Christmas. I'm going to use art glitter glue. I've already taken the dog out. I'm living with family and they're out of town at the moment. So I've taken out the dog. And she and I both have had breakfast. And I thought I'd sit down a few minutes and finish something I was working on. Just thought I'd go ahead and turn on the camera so you could see. And I'm sorry for the scratching sound. I don't know why I feel like that tip there has to be touching the paper. It doesn't have to be. I think it's just the way I hold it. So if it's making any kind of a sound, I apologize to you for that. Okay. kind of have a bit of a wide edge here because of the way I tore it. That means I wasn't paying attention. I just tore it in the odd or different direction. And I'm gonna leave that because I know I'm gonna cover him up. I'm gonna use this old world kind of Santa here. I wanna make sure I get all of those little pieces that are sticking out down. And I love using art glitter glue for something of this nature simply because art glitter glue just tacks down those ends, and after it's all dry, I don't have to go back and check to make sure that I glued everything down. I know that I have it, all of those little edges. If not, I tend to be pulling up the edges because they're not quite glued down with my, and I'm sure this just simply has to be operator error. When I use a Yoo-Hoo stick, somehow I don't get all of the edges. If it's a square or rectangular object, I end up going back and fiddling with the corners and having to get out the art glitter glue and work with that. So when I'm doing something like this, I tend to simply pull art glitter glue. That way I know I'm assured of having that completed. I have another Santa that I wanted to put on the back here. I think this little fella is going to work. I love these old world Santas. I got them from the Graphics Fairy, free of charge. Printed these out. Thank you to the Graphics Fairy. I love that there are so many little digis, so many little images that we can pull from there, whether it be Christmas or some type of botany image. All of those images are there, typically vintage style. She even has a Victorian section. I love that because I love, I think, all things Victorian when it comes to paper products, ideas and styles from that era, especially when I'm creating journals or junk journals. And then I just want to make sure I've kind of lightly covered a skiff of this glue, and I guess that's why I'm touching the paper. Again, sorry for the scratching. I also love the fact that there are so many items that are free to us if we want digitals or whatnot that we can use. We don't have to start out paying for them, although there are some beautiful digitals on Etsy that people have created, and I absolutely love them. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do as far as putting the Santas on. And then what I would do is I would use a little piece of cloth ribbon about 1 inch wide. It could be an actual piece of cotton or maybe a piece of muslin that I have just torn the size of a ribbon, or I actually have a piece of cloth ribbon here. Purchased this at Hobby Lobby in my area, and all I would do is, this is about the right length. I would simply glue about half of this ribbon onto here, and then I could close this over and then use this as a flip in a book. And I don't have to put it on this side. I can actually put this side into the book so that this is the way I'm looking at it here. And this side would still flip so that I can see both areas. And I'm going to finish decorating just a little bit here. This is nice and Christmassy joy here. I'm looking at another little piece that I thought, oh, well, that'd be great here, but I don't want two pieces that can be seen like that, even on the same piece. So let's try something different here. Pull a little black over to this side. And I think I like that. make sure I'm in camera frame. And again, I'm using art glitter on the label. And I'm just simply going to run it up and down. And the reason I'm putting it down this direction is because the red is here. It also helps me pull that red down even farther into the page. It helps my eye to be able to see what's going on here. And then I think I have a little red one here. Let's try something, yep, to add into that area. Get it? I don't have my glasses on, so I had it upside down and didn't even realize it until I got it far enough away that I could actually see it. All right, there's that part. I think that's all I'm going to do to him. I love this Old World Santa. There are just such great images on Graphics Fairy. Thank you again, Graphics Fairy, for all of these wonderful images that you provide us with. I'm going to have a little doily trim here as a way of saying, yes, this is something to open. There's more back in the back. It's not really a tab, but maybe a little inclination, a little idea that, yes, there is more here. And I don't know if I need anything else on the page. I think I have enough going on here. And then let's work on the front just a little more. This is an odd shaped label. I like that. Fills in where the red is quite a bit, which is super. Another green label. I'm not sure I like that. I like the label, just not on this piece. Again, there's quite a bit of red space, so maybe this would look nice here. Possibly a long black one. I'm not sure I like the black. That's an awful lot of thickness to that black area there. So let's try this, and then maybe a red in the place of the green at the top. How does that sort of cover some of that red area? You know, this would be the perfect place to add Merry Christmas. I simply don't have those at hand at the moment. That's why I'm using labels to help decorate somewhat. And here is a Hotel Petersburg, Paris. I got this off of the Graphics Fairy as well. And I'm simply playing with how that looks and giving you an idea. You just put your things down and look at them. How do they look to you? You may or may not like my pick, but it's something that you could look at. And I'm not sure I want him going down the page, but I might like that. And I think I do. Okay, so let's try that. Small little label. I create my own labels. I have a video about creating labels. They're simple. You don't have to purchase them. But I do know that Tracy Fox carries a lot of nice labels if you want to purchase something. I'm sure there are other ladies. I want to say Nick might have some at Nick the Booksmith. I'm not sure. Initially, as I began my journey in creating journals about 4 years ago, Nick the Booksmith was great about... she was great at sort of demystifying how to create labels, how to what a label might look like, and I really appreciated that. She did a wonderful video on Franken pages, creating paper from scrap that we could go back and use for collaging or background paper. Just phenomenal artist. And I appreciated that so much in my beginning. Someone that would come along and say, this is easy, let me show you how you can create your own. I thought was terrific. Okay, I'm going to leave this here and open for a moment and pull in a tag. And this tag base was used from, I have cardstock here, but I actually, from the Dollar Tree, picked up a little packet of 8 manila folders and file folders, and they are so simple to cut into tag shapes. They have that nice cardstock. I've covered one side with vintage encyclopedia paper, and the other side I've left for writing. And I'm going to create another Santa Claus picture. Let's see what I have to go in my background. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm away from the camera. Give me just a second as I'm looking for something to use as background. And I do think I already have that. Let's try. I'll tell you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a little bit of this new or this old reused Christmas card to create a little bit of background for my Santa. I'm going to cut this straight edge here. I believe it'll be easier to put on the card. And I know that looks like an awful lot of red, but when I'm taking him out and using him to write on or whatever, then I have a goodly piece of card that I can use, or tag that I can actually use. And I'm going to go back to the art glitter. Go as close to the edge as I can get without coming off. And just a little smidgen throughout to hold it on to the tag base. And I'm going to point this out. If you like to distress your items, this would be a great time. And if you see this little white edge here sticking out at the red, it's just where I didn't cut it straight enough and it went over either the tag below it or this piece of red. You can either trim this off or distress this, and that will cover that up easily. It's just a quick thing to do. I'm going to now move this out of the way so that I can work only on the tag and don't distract everybody from what I'm doing. Okay, or glitter glue the Santa. And if you've noticed here, I think now this is either my 3rd or 4th Santa. The Graphics Fairy has beautiful Santas to create Christmas journals, Christmas tags, your own tags for gifts, or your journals. Some of you may have heard about Carol from Oak House Journals, who has invited people to come on board. I think that's still open for Christmas tags. No, I'm sorry. It is today that I am videotaping, but she is actually going to close that out on the 14th, and this will not air until I think the Friday after Thanksgiving, so I apologize for even mentioning that. But I will say a thank you to Miss Carol, that this is an easy way to create those if you're still creating Christmas tags. And here we have another month to go before Christmas. This is what I'm talking about as far as using my art glitter glue. When I use the Yoo-hoo stick, and it's not the Yoo-hoo. I'm sure this is personal error here. I just tend to have to go back and re-glue those corners down, and sometimes I will even test them before I put them in a journal, especially if I'm going to give the journal away or if I want to sell that journal. Let's see if I can do a little tag somewhere here. It's a little too big. Small little label works great there. I believe that's all I'm going to use on him. Again, Merry Christmas would have gone very well right there. I just don't have those at my fingertips right now. Okay, so I haven't shown you a great deal of detail in that I did not, this was not a start to finish type of thing. I wanted to come on quickly and simply give you an idea, something that maybe you could be inspired by and create for yourselves. And now I have something I can put into my journal. And if I don't want to glue ribbon or material, if that's just not your thing to do, then don't do that. Simply use a paper clip or some type of cute little clips that are out now and clip this into a journal so that you can then pull out this flip card envelope and possibly cabinet card along with the tag. I think it'd be great in the journal. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.